think it's good.
You'll see if it's got a little data rate down at the bottom right hand corner of OBS.
Yeah, I'll have
And we're good.
to.
And I can see the screen kicking over.
Yeah,
It says
there you
videos
go.
unavailable.
No.
Hey.
See, that's a good question there. I don't know what anything is.
It still says offline.
It still says offline. Okay, I don't know where it's
Look
recording.
at the bottom right hand corner. Is it recording or is it streaming? There's a difference.
I've clicked start streaming.
Okay, is there a data rate at the bottom that shows like a green or red light?
Yeah, it's green.
Okay, what's the bit rate on it right now? It should have numbers out beside that are kind of fluctuating.
Yeah, it's like in the 8,000s.
Okay, so you should be good.
Should be. Should be.
Pop over to YouTube and see if it's broadcasting there.
I'm not
Good.
Did you set it up to simulcast? Do you even remember how to do that?
Nope. Maddie showed me nothing.
That's fine.
God bless her heart, but
we are live now. Awesome. And it is playing, so it's live now, even if it's not on Twitch.
We got something going.
do you want me to just record
Twitch
it?
says it's live. It's just not showing anything.
don't
Video
know.
is unavailable.
I don't know why it's not showing anything.
Yeah, it
It was
says video is not available.
Do you want me to just record this? Because otherwise, we'd have to wait for Maddie to come in, and Maddie probably won't be in until about 7:30.
Go ahead and hit record.
Okay. Do you want me to stop streaming as well?
No, because we are still live on YouTube. Let me go ahead and...
Is it showing though?
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I was like, join us over on YouTube.
Sorry.
Going to find this thing so I can...
I'll give you guys a link so that way you don't have to worry about trying to find it. Actually, do we have it linked in our... If I do this...
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, guys. Bear with us just a minute. We're going to make sure everything is going properly. There we go. There's a link there. I'm going to go ahead and post the link up a few more places. Bear with us. We're running into some technical difficulties. Some foul weather has made our some friends run a little bit late. So we are going to try to get that going. I have to mute that because I can hear my own self. And despite what everybody else says, I don't like the sound of my own voice. All right. When last we left, our party was fighting a hag and overcame that with the help of a new friend, a new ally. They raided the hag's lair, finding the relic from her and a chest full of interesting items. But more importantly, they found a baby. Now, some quick research showed them that hags tend to eat infants and then immediately birth another tiny person out of their womb. And given what we're looking at here, pretty sure that this is a hag baby. So they were left with the decision what to do with the baby. And that's where we left off. Before we dive into tonight's game, though, I would like to give a huge shout out, excuse me, to V, who is actually running our stream tonight. So thank you so much for stepping up. We were running into some technical difficulties, not really technical difficulties, but issues due to the weather. Maddie is running a bit behind. So we are over on YouTube broadcasting live. We're recording on our Twitch, so we'll post it all up later on. But feel free to come by and join us over on YouTube. My normal places that I usually broadcast that we're posting up live, I'm sending those links. So that way you guys have a link to our YouTube channel. In the meantime, go over to our YouTube channel, give us some love. If you're seeing this on our YouTube channel, then you already know we're here, but also pop over to our Twitch channel and give us some love. And I've got the link there. So I'll be updating that here in a minute because for some reason our Twitch is having a friggin' nightmare. So say something to us here if you are over there. Say hello, world. So there we go. Now, a couple more things, housekeeping, if you will. So coming up events for Dire Bear Venturing Company. We have on this weekend's a little private engagement, but the weekend of the 15th, 16th, and 17th, Magic the Gathering is doing another release for the Ravnica, and that means that Dungeons & Dragons, not to be outdone, is going to also release another adventure. I'll be here on Friday running that for the Adventurers Night, or the Adventure Night. Come by for dinner and an adventure, $20, gets you a meal and a wonderful adventure run by me. On Saturday, we'll be running 2 more of the events. And then on Saturday night, we'll be running an Escape the Adventure, kind of like an Escape the Room, but couples of 2 will be working together couples of 2, that was redundant. Anyways, couples will be working together to escape an adventure that's constantly chasing them down, puzzle after puzzle, and monsters that are chasing on their heels, ever growing faster and faster. Who will be the first to escape, and who will be the first to fall prey to it? So that will be going on the evening of Saturday the 16th. That is a $50 charge, but it comes with adult beverage as well as your meal. And the adventure, again, run by me. I'm trying to keep seats limited to a certain number, so get there early and have fast. And then in March, I am working with Columbia Games, who are the makers of Harn World, and I'll be running 5th edition D&D and as well as Harn World at the Huntsville Comic and Culture Expo. So that's the 9th and the 10th. So come by and say hi and sit down and play a game with me. I'm limiting the table to 6 players. So get in early if you want to play, sign up and pick an adventure. Harn World should be interesting. It's a far grittier environment. If you take a wound to the leg, you don't just sleep and heal it off. You actually there are repercussions for taking damage. So it should be interesting to see, and it's going to be new. I'd also like to once again welcome Eric, who is our newest player as well as our patron. He will be playing with us for as long as he sees fit that he wants to, which is hopefully a very long time. Eric also plays with me on Sundays and our Adventure League. If you are in the Huntsville area and you're looking for some fun and you'd like to play a game with me, you can drop by the Lucky Dice Cafe, where I'm often found, and sit down for Adventure League. We have 3 tables now, and we probably could break that up into 4 technically, but
One of
we
those
love
tables
having
is pretty-
people. Yeah, one of those tables is pretty full. And if you were a DM and you'd like to try to give us a hand, because we definitely could use them, feel free to stop by and say hello and introduce yourself, and maybe we can get you in as a DM. Would love to have you. In the meantime, I think that is enough rambling on from me, so why don't we jump right into the game? So again, when last we left off, our party had a minor issue to deal with a hag.
Killing a baby.
Killing a hag.
Baby.
Hag.
Baby hag.
Baby.
Killing a hag.
It's a hag.
We're pretty quiet on YouTube.
Are we?
Mhm.
Adjust your volume.
Okay.
Actually, I can. It is pretty quiet over there.
How am
like-
I now? Am I good now?
You're peeking.
Just
You're at your peak, sweetie.
is it right in
Yes.
the mouth? You just
I peeked too early.
Just eating that mic.
see if you can adjust the volume inside of OBS and maybe see if you can crank it up a little bit.
Oh God, where? Before I pull up
Double
the
it.
screen and make a mess.
So
Double it. Oh, good grief.
click
Oh,
on
honey.
click on the Discord because that's where your broadcast is coming from, or maybe your audio, your desktop, because that's where it's coming from. You should be able to adjust the input or the
Oh,
output.
all
from
of
that.
my input is quite small. Sorry, I forgot about that. Does that make it any better?
We'll find out in just a moment.
It's better in my ears, so I'm hoping it's better everywhere else.
As it blows up in your ears.
Hooray!
Someone play something really loud, but he just flies off to the
No,
side
it's
somewhere.
Just inching
So
my blanket
quiet.
back onto my bed.
Goals.
That would be impressive, though.
All right. OBS has a gain spot for finding that in there.
If I pull this up, it's gonna be a mess. Listen.
Just pull it up. It's
Pull
okay.
it up. It's a mess.
Pull it up.
Just go ahead.
It is.
Yeah.
It's good. I got it. Listen, I don't know where. Everything's maxed on volume. That's what we're looking at.
We're looking for a dedicated stream person.
Listen,
If you want to join the
show
team, no. I'm just kidding. Maddie's good. Maddie's good.
I'm adding Maddie.
It's just
Didn't tell
no,
me
don't
anything.
add her.
I'm adding
Don't.
her.
No. I love her. It's just
She's great.
them Canadian wet. I'm so brain dead right now, you guys. I don't think you understand.
How many times do we have to at you to work on something up today?
Do you know the day I've had? Do you know
Probably similar to mine.
the day I have had?
Let's compare notes when the campaign's
All
out.
right. When the campaign's done, for now, who has the baby? Arneth?
Arneth.
I
Arnath.
believe Arneth.
I do.
Arneth, what are you gonna do?
I'm not killing this baby.
Are you sure?
Or Arnath is not killing the baby. He doesn't want to kill it. He sees this sweet little bab in his arms. He's not thinking about the future. He's thinking about right now.
Right now is them paternal instincts kicking in.
Yeah.
He's a
Well-
dad now. He can't just abandon his child.
Fatherhood, it takes a toll on one.
A little bit.
Arneth just clinging this hag baby to his chest. You wouldn't understand. You're not a parent.
So, party.
He don't want to kill him.
It's a cute little baby right now, but it will grow up to be a hag. What are you doing? Make a decision as a group. This thing will grow up to be
This is where the
A
party
baby-
falls apart.
a baby-eating monster.
Zion's just standing there with his. He's still holding his claws out towards her. Either you hand me that abomination or I'm going through you to get to it.
Okay, listen.
Is there
Okay,
like
first of all,
any
First
way
of all,
that we can have a hag on our team through all of this?
It's a
Friendship.
baby.
it's
It's
yeah.
gonna grow up normally. It's not just sudden hag.
it doesn't mature until about 13 years, and that's when it reveals its true nature.
Do you want to take care of a baby for 13 years?
Kill it.
Understand that there are different types of hags in the world. You've actually fought the three major kinds. Matter of fact, a night hag, a green hag, and now a sea hag.
All of them are the worst. Just saying.
Well, one of them didn't attack us until we attacked them, and that seems to be the type that this baby is. Cough. Yenfir cough.
Okay.
just added you. Completely.
Listen, fucker.
Okay.
Language is
Shit
a
like
baby
this
here.
just doesn't Go away. Okay. Have you been in this party since the beginning? I seem to remember things just kind of keep coming back until we deal with them.
So do you want to kill this baby in fear?
Absolutely not.
So you're willing to let that come back and bite us?
I mean, what if doesn't really know? I don't know if it's raised away from this
It's an innocent little baby.
right now, at least.
Remember that they will grow up to be the spitting image of
Yeah, but will they
The
gain
mother.
Well, not everyone can
memories?
be as beautiful as I am.
the
okay?
sea
There
hags
has
are
to
by
be
far
some-
the ugliest of all of the hags.
Well, that's not the baby's fault. Not
Okay,
everyone can
fair
be
point.
beautiful.
Or is there a reverse ugly duckling story here? Is that
There has to be ugly people in the world so people can appreciate the beauty of the world. Me.
So that's why you want to keep it.
That's not. No, that's not
there is one other
the
alternative?
only reason why I want to keep
What's
this
that
baby.
cat?
Hags are various types of entities. Fiends, fae, things like that. The sea hag and the green hag, if I'm not mistaken, are both fae.
Mhm.
There is an alternative that you could do. It's not killing the baby.
Send this baby back to the shadow realm.
Back to the Feywild, yeah, back to the Fae.
Yeah, Zion would.
Shadow realm.
He's just sitting there crossing his arms. As I am to allow it, I could call a hag to us and have them take the child for their own.
A good hack. A nice hack.
A nice heck. Okay.
That is the limit of mercy.
I can't pick one. I don't have like a dollar hag. It's like,
Yeah. Just let me
hello hag? Yes. Yes.
hello
One
heck.
eight-
No, it's another one.
Is that you?
No, it's just
Another
abandoned.
one.
1-800
No, it's
hag.
pink.
1-800 hag mom.
Hag nanny. The worst nannies. What happened to my baby?
I don't know what kind of person it would make me if I could just look a child in the face and murder it.
A bad
So
person.
Pragmatic.
I mean, to be
Melissa's
honest, I was
character's
under the
awesome.
impression this guy was gonna just slide it down his gullet. So,
If it dies, it is meat.
I mean, it's not dead though.
yeah.
I
He
am
just-
done with this conversation. You all are
As it
horrible and
Wraps one of
savage.
its little
And I
hands
walk
around your
away.
Finger, Arneth.
What?
As it wraps one of its little hands around his finger.
This is unfair. I'm walking away.
My
I'm
heart is
offended.
breaking.
Your finger snaps.
Your breaks.
Breaks it right off.
Suck the baby
And
to the
immediately
ground
poison
like a
courses through
football.
your vein because, like a baby snake, it can't control how much its output is. So you're
Fucking-
just dead.
Fucking dunk that baby on the ground so fast.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Spike it like an end zone touchdown.
Pretty
I'm
much.
ending the stream here. Sorry.
The stream goes dead.
No.
How do you
Weird,
get
we
demonetized?
started-
Have a discussion about killing a baby. It's understand, people who are watching, that it is in the form of a baby, but it is a hag. I guarantee you, it is an evil creature. Don't worry, we're not literally killing babies. Baby hags.
We kind of are.
Or
literally
volleyball
killing
spiking
babies.
them.
True that. True.
Listen, Arneth has made his choice. He made the choice as soon
Is
as he
he a
saw this
father
little
now?
baby.
Oh.
Zion's just looking Arnett dead in the face. Those are your options. I kill the child, or I summon another hag to take it.
I'm
Oh.
having a mild breakdown outside, silently.
I don't even
I
think it's
mean-
silent. It's just you going.
Like, what is that wailing noise?
That
Anybody hear
strange
that whistling sound?
screeching.
I think that the
Somebody letting a bolt.
summoning the hag is the best option here, because that way we don't kill a baby, even if it is a hag baby.
Hag baby.
Hag baby.
No.
I mean, I guess.
Which
Out of sight, out of mind.
both would be out of sight and out of mind.
It wouldn't be out of sight. I would hear you.
I could walk away.
Just take a couple steps.
I would
it's
still
fine.
know.
Stick your
This is
fingers into
actually the
your
worst.
ears and make the la la noise.
I think I would. I'm okay with the hag route.
Yes.
As soon as Arneth says that, Zine will down and get eye to eye with Arneth. Say, know this. The only reason I'm considering this and not catching you in the crossfire is I need your group.
Ooh,
Is
damn
that supposed to
fighting word.
scare me?
You're lucky Imperial doesn't hear you. Tiny barking.
And then he will walk outside and he will cast Conjure Woodland Beings
All right.
and
I'd
call
have to
a
follow him.
sea hag to the area.
All right.
Now we have to go through the questions and the lists to make sure they're the proper fit.
Of course, you got to interview your hags.
Yeah. So we need to summon at least
She appears.
What brings you?
Looks different than the one that you fought, but still as terrifyingly, disgustingly ugly as the previous one. Like curdling milk ugly.
Mhm.
She
She
steps
does not
forward.
age gracefully.
No, they don't. They are quite literally. They are the ugliest version of the hags out there, like hands down. She
They're
steps
real nasty.
forward, her disgusting visage almost making you tremble and want to run and break. As she gets closer, she kind of looks at you, Zine. Why have you summoned me here?
Because we were attacked by one of your own kind, and we found her child.
Okay. What do you say of a hag child?
He'll gesture back. He'll gesture back to Arneth as, well, it's either these softskins are adverse to me dealing with it as I would, so I've called you so they might have, what do they call it? Peace of mind.
I have no desire for another.
So you do not wish to raise a child and create a coven.
I sense strong magic about you, but I also sense something that I can use. You have an eye.
Fuck!
Not this again.
I'm just like,
I'll take the child. I'll take the eye. And I'll go far from here and trouble you not. That's my deal.
Zine just turns and looks back at them. His expression very clearly saying, this is the option you chose.
This shit's on you, not me.
All in favor
time-
of destroying the eye while this lady watches?
I
I
mean,
mean-
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, theoretically, he can just dismiss her.
No, this is more fun.
Crush the eye in your hand.
Yeah.
You're talking about destroying a magically crafted item?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, not in
What's
Gillet's
the worst
hands.
that could happen? Whose hand?
No, somebody else is gonna do that.
Some
You don't. One does not simply destroy a hag.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
One
just
does
like-
not simply.
One does not simply just go smoosh and there it is.
Yeah, Zion's clearly just looking at them like. they
Actually,
should-
no, I take that back. You can just crush it. It's got a very low AC and 1 hit point, so
All right.
if you want to crush it in Gillet's goblet of a hand, just right in front
One
of her,
eye.
you
I
hold
don't
it
know
out
what
to
you're
her.
talking about.
You hold it out to her. She goes reach for it. You. Too slow, grasshopper.
Card crusher.
Too slow, grasshopper.
Wow.
I can't.
This was your choice, and that was her price. Either pay hers or pay mine.
Do we have a fake eye? Shouldn't
We are way
specify.
overcomplicating this.
Yes.
Like,
She takes the baby first.
Deal. Give it to me. Hand it over.
I am going to trust Gillet because I don't know what's going through his head, and I will hand the baby over.
Now the eye.
I look to Zine, dismiss her, crushes the eye.
I do want you to roll an attack roll.
Okay.
A hag can't crush a baby, can it? Just in spite.
It's a baby.
Oh yeah, it crushes easily in your hand. Do you dismiss her as he does this?
Yeah, because Zine hates hags. So,
Like
yeah,
if-
he'll-
oh, thank God.
Pretty
Finally.
much.
Now everyone hates
Actually,
me
it does
for
flat
it.
out say that they obey any verbal commands that I issue to.
True. So if
So-
you would have said take the baby,
Take
That's
the
true.
baby.
but you didn't tell her to take the baby,
Yeah, I know.
there was a negotiation there, and she's going to take the opportunity to.
Yep.
The question is would the baby really disappear with her if you dismissed her via your spell?
I am there ready to catch the baby.
But see, the
Fucking
thing
Ernest
is,
baseball sliding in. Like,
the thing is, the hag is next to Zine. I mean, Zine would get to the baby.
Oh no!
I mean, but I handed the.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. You dismiss her.
Mhm.
She poops out of existence. I'm going to leave this up to the chance and the dice. It's going to be a dexterity roll between the two of you. The higher one gets there first.
Gets the baby.
So the baby doesn't leave with the hag?
Does not, because it was not there with the hag. Had she been able to leave of her own volition with it, it would have gone with her. But because you
Fair enough.
dismissed her as part of the spell faded, which is what summoned her. Baby's still there.
Yep.
I need dexterity checks from both of you. Jesus, this is a dark place.
Catch the
Yep.
baby.
I want to go on. I'd like to move on.
Well, I messed that up pretty good. All right.
Catch the baby. Ow. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! This is the worst thing ever. I'm so upset right now.
So as soon as Zine catches it, he is going to use primal savagery. And just...
I am not describing that because I'm a father. That hurts my
Yeah, yeah, no. I don't expect you to. Yeah, it does 2d10 acid damage plus bite attack.
It's a baby. You
Yep.
don't even have to do all that.
I can't. I don't even. A small gremlin having a crisis.
Yeah,
Like-
fucking mood.
I will say that for the narrative's sake, you do turn your back to where you're away from everyone
Yep.
as you do this.
Implying that's somehow better. Like,
We hear it.
Oh yeah, it's like listening to a
Guilty.
dog chew on a chicken bone.
Ah!
now I have PTSD, thanks.
You're welcome. This game has already fucked you up so much
This
in
is the
so many
worst.
ways.
This is the worst.
Arnath is so upset that he's gonna do that and just disappear. He's left the realm.
You just leave
He
the realm.
left the goddamn realm.
Just
Yeah.
bye.
He does. You watch as this happens. There's no way to avoid it. You're gonna have to see some of it. There's a bit of relief as the pink little form shifts into this gnarled blue scaly, like somebody who has scaly skin, not like scales like fish scales, but this horrible looking figure. You can see that the glamour started early on in its life and would stay that way so that someone would become attached to it, but the true nature of the creature was always right there underneath the surface. And so it's not this little cute pink skin thing, it's this horrible blue skin monster. Now, party. You have one person who has disappeared. You do have 2 of the relics that you've been told about. But you have some issues to work out. Where are you going from here? First of all, Arneth, what are you doing?
I am being upset
Are you
in
just-
the astral
You haven't
plane.
moved, you just went to the ethereal plane and are just sitting
Mhm.
there?
Yeah.
Having a good old cry.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? Grimly, you just watch this lizard folk just nom down on a hag baby.
You know how when children throw tantrums, but they hit this like extra level where they just stop moving, but they're face down on the ground?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
Grimly right now. It's just like
Feel it?
I'm going to be
Sick.
finding some water to wash off my hands, first of all.
there's mud.
It's not
close
it's
enough.
not squicky like an eye. It's a magical item. It's an orb. It doesn't go in your hand. It crushes like crushing sandstone or like a gob. If you were able to crush a gobstopper in your hand, it's like that. So it's like
Which
dust.
Gillet would be able to do.
It's just a fine dust in your hand. All right.
Yeah. I think he's just gonna sit down and start meditating if no one else is gonna bother him.
Yenfear.
I'm so fucking upset right now. I don't even know. I like need a whole 8 hours to
Your boyfriend has
blog
suddenly
about it.
disappeared.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
It's all fun and games until the DM has you crush a hag baby.
it really is.
This isn't the first moral decision you guys have come up against, so it's like
It's not. Oh God, Annalise, rip.
all right.
Rip Lucky. Ryan, you've not even been here with us for really a day, and you've already caused so much turmoil. I need to go walk. I'm gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk off. I don't care. I'll be fine, probably. Don't fucking test that, but like...
I am gonna follow in the other realm.
On the other realm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. You wander off somewhere in the distance, Yenfear, leaving the hag's building far behind. The gray skies that sort of hung over this area have finally parted, and there's just a few rays of sunlight here and there. You find yourself walking toward one and shining down on you. Gillet, you sit cross-legged on the ground, finding a dry-ish spot, and empty your mind and meditate. Arneth, you watch as Yenfir walks dejectedly towards some point in the distance. Grimly, the mud is cool on your face.
He's
Maybe
like
you'll just
turned
stay here
his
a minute
face and
longer.
like started stress eating
It's like,
whatever's
What a
close.
mood.
There's plants in the mud. Yeah, he's eating those now.
just chewing grasses and stuff.
Yeah.
Just slowly pushing jerky into his mouth.
I love him. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Grimly right now.
There is a calm that seems to settle on everything, despite the grotesqueness of the situation that has just left you. Before any of you realize it, a few hours have passed. Anybody? Zine, what are you doing now that you finished this off? The party is sort of not dispersed, but just kind of wandered away from the situation. Wandered away from the scene of the crime.
Stop! It wasn't my choice. I wanted to raise the baby.
He's
Hag! It would have been a hag!
ironically is throughout all
Resolve
of
that
this. Throughout all of this, there hasn't been a single like emotional change in this perfectly serene expression of his. Like this, none of this registers to him.
Circle
essentially.
of life shit, man.
Yeah,
He's like, I
But-
was just
Baby
doing what I
die,
needed
baby
to
die.
do.
yeah.
Baby die, baby die. Baby beef.
But before everybody gets back, he is going to wild shift into an owl
Mhm.
and fly up onto the highest point of Jenny's ship and just kind of perch and keep an eye on the surroundings.
Sure thing. You don't really see too much. You can see Yenfir from the perch. Gillet hasn't moved. Callista is still nearby, a bit shocked and appalled by the situation.
Ironically, I was talking to Callista. She said she would have totally
She
agreed
said-
with what
yeah,
Zion
Maddie
was going
said-
to do.
Oh, did she?
Maddie said
Yeah.
Calista would have been down.
Like,
to-
down to just
Down to kill a fucking baby. Hell
Yep.
yeah.
gotta love the Callista. Callista is just kind of looking around, like, but Gillet's in his thing, so she's not bothering him. She's just kind of quietly watching and waiting for everybody to get their shit together. And let's get back
Get
on point.
over it.
Grimly, you feel a little ill. You realize you may have digested a bit more mud than grass. Yenfir, at any point in time in that time frame, you found that one spot of sunlight that seems to be beaming down on it. And even though you're attuned to winter because you don't remember to ever attune to anything else, this brief moment in the sun, it does, even in this desolate, swampy area, it does seem to lift you a bit out of the doldrums. I don't know if you will be able to convince yourself that the choice that was made was the right one. That's up to you. But at least here in this little little patch of sunlight, it's not as bleak. A few more hours pass. What are you guys doing? Are you coming back together? You still just going your way? Decided this is where the team breaks up and this is the last episode, even though I hadn't planned it to be. Welcome to the stream, Eric. Goodbye.
Yeah. This is why I made a second character in case they don't like Zion anymore.
They're starting to take pot shots at the owl. I know it's you. What are you doing?
Zion's gonna burn his second wild shape and stay as an owl. That gives him 10 hours of owl time.
Okay. Is it a timeshare thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
He has other druids that they share the shape with.
He just rents out
They have
timeshares of various animals that have
Various
uses.
animals.
It's just an animorph at this point? What?
It's like there's a giant scorpion underground. I was like, I need your body for 5 hours. Come here.
You can take mine for 5 hours, and here weekends we have to schedule it out.
Yeah.
All right, come on. What are you guys doing?
Gillet's going to be
Standing
getting
around
up
the
and
swamp?
finding Yinfir, and hopefully, if possibly Arneth too, if Arneth decides to come back to this section of reality.
No, I can do this for up to 8 hours, baby.
Fuck you.
You see a mop of red curly hair off in the distance. It's a little ways away from you, but easy enough for you to spot and see. It's not like this place is, thick with forest. It's actually pretty sparsely populated with woods and things.
I'm gonna go play some music. Be emo.
Taps. Despacito.
Yeah, Despacito.
This is so sad.
This is
All
so
right.
sad, Alexa.
Play Despacito.
You move towards, and Grimly, you watch as the big orange guy gets up. Not orange, green. Orange. Sorry, wrong guy. You watch as the big green guy gets up and starts moving towards the orange-haired one.
Honestly, he'd probably follow. Let's be real. Fucking
You hear a little
stomach.
plodding behind you as you go to move. Just
Slap, 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 slap.
in the mud behind you.
There's a
With his
flapping
little bare,
noise
with
before.
his little bare feet.
There's a flapping noise before an owl just perches on the back of Grimly's backpack.
Do I have the strength for that? That's a good question.
It's an owl. It's not like a
It's
great
pretty
horned
long.
owl. I'm pretty sure it's
It's a little tiny like owl.
it's one of the
prehistoric owl. It's the size of Grimly. No, I'm
no,
kidding.
it's one of the diggers. It's like one of the little digger owls. You know, the ones that are like that big. He's okay now that he's a little pygmy owl. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Giant lizard, not good. Little
We're
pygmy owls, okay. We're friends again, yay!
Yay!
So easy to win them over.
Yeah.
Yenfir, you hear the sound of plop, 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 plop. And you turn to look and see Gillet and Grimly right behind him, kind of like peering around him. Perched on Grimly's back is a little tiny owl, Callista trailing behind them.
Hello, can I help you?
I hope so. Have any deal with it songs in that repertoire of yours?
Deal with it song. Get over it songs. Yeah.
He plays Sarah Smiles.
Oh my fucking god.
Starts playing So No One Told You Life Was Gonna Be This Way.
Just like little sad claps.
Or just play some fucking Alanis.
Not clapping, snapping.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic?
Someone starts Z snapping in the background.
Oh my lord.
You hoot in time. All right.
Theme from Cheers.
I still have the thing that we came here for, the heavy thing.
I think you have both of the relics so far.
Yes, I do.
So they're not in this plane. Got it.
Yeah, not right now. Come on, adventurers. What are you doing?
I'll say from the back of all his head just goes
Just tilts its head.
just like kind of almost upside down. Just rotates head upside down. Just staring at people.
It's a good thing you're one of the small ones, because it's terrifying if it's one of the big ones. Just
Yeah.
There are no noises happening when it does
okay.
it.
No, I like to imagine there is just that, like the Secret of Nim, the cartoon, when the owl, when he goes to visit the old owl, it turns its head up, and you just hear the cracking sound.
Wait, this is behind Grimly's head. Hello?
But it's you don't hear
Grimly
it because
starts
it's the little
turning.
small one. The backpack turns, so the owl's like spinning with you. You guys hear that? You guys hear that?
Grimly gets pecked on the head. It keeps spinning around. It's like
Owl pellet.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love my boy. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
All right. I need to know what you guys are doing. You tell me. You know where the last relic was last seen. Where was it at?
Oh, busy
Lanceport.
wizard.
Lanceport would be the last destination that you know of. and you are a pretty good piece from Lanceport. On the map, if you'll notice, it's pretty good ways.
Basically the other side of the map.
You get to cross through Adalar again, though. Back to the scene of the crime with the lizard folk in tow. This ought to be great.
Mm.
I don't see how anything can go wrong.
Say hi to Lucky.
You'd have to climb up the mountains, and again, that's a little piece of ways, so you'd be like, "You still holding up? Okay, see you later."
See ya. Miss ya.
Thanks for being an anchor to this magic that's holding everything back from invading this world.
You want a cookie?
You're a real dude.
Yeah,
We
you're-
brought you some cinnamon toast.
You're right.
I want to cry.
Aw,
Ryan, I know you're not watching, but I hope you are. We miss you, buddy.
I know.
Mhm.
Now I just made myself sad.
Even more sad than baby.
Too soon.
Aw.
All right. So you're all making your way to Landsport then? Is that where we're going?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yenfir looked at it this way, and I don't know, Arneth, if you can hear me. The further we get from this, the further the memory will be as well.
Until somebody gets drunk and brings it back up.
Take a
That's
swing
not
at,
my problem right now.
That's not my problem.
I take a swing at Gillet from the Shadow Realm. It just goes right through him.
You feel this brush of air or something, energy. It just seems to kind of brush your shoulder and dissipate.
No.
Can I use my Rocky Talkie? Doesn't
I
work.
love how that caught on. Fantastic.
Do you want to talk to Arneth?
Yes.
It does not work across planes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my god, cocked again. Okay.
Well,
Well, I'm not going anywhere until Arneth returns, so if you guys want to start on without me, that's fine.
Is Yenfir sitting on something?
I think he's just kind of
Probably. I don't
Did
know.
you
I was
find
like,
a log?
perched on
Sure.
a piece of driftwood that seems
Yeah.
to
We just slob
just-
squatting
I'm just slob squatting.
Playing in
in the
like,
sunlight.
Okay.
be. He's sitting on the remains of a frog hemoth. Or he's sitting in the remains of a banderhob.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He would never. Don't fucking. Okay.
Grimly's gonna sit beside him wherever he is. If it's in the mud, Grimly's in the mud.
How many hours has it been?
Probably about 4 or 5. You watch as Grimly jumps and like throws his body across the log, scrambles, his feet kicking against the log as he climbs up and turns around and sits next to you, Yenfir.
Arneth is going to walk a short distance away.
Mud on the side of his face. A still piece of like little grass sticking out around his like making like a green
I love my
wiry
boy.
mustache and goatee on half of his face. He's a mess.
I'm gonna take my scarf.
He's doing his
I'm gonna
best.
wipe his face. I'm gonna just
Oh.
take his face and just kind of like wipe it off.
Munch.
Just-
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just smears the mud.
I
more.
never said I was a good father. Fine, okay.
The
I
owl
have a
flutters off
lot
the
of-
backpack, lands on Ian's shoulder.
You've got a pet owl
Arneth,
now.
you walk a bit away.
And then I'll come back into the plane.
All right, you shift
I'll
back
in.
into the prime material plane.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as in a distance away from you, Arneth reappears, as though from out of nowhere. Just kind of with a.
Well, Grimly's happy to see him.
He'd
Your
have
feet
his
kicking on the driftwood.
Points him out immediately.
he'd have his back towards them. He'd just say, "Come on, let's go. I'm ready to get moving."
He just gives you one of those things where he's got his back to you all. He just kind of barely turns his head so you can see just like the very, very slight angle before he giving you the, come on, let's go.
All right.
Well, I guess I'll start walking.
There's gonna be some art
That
from
was my
this, and I
condition.
just sure as hell hope it's not Zion and the baby. That's all I'm saying. It's just
Ah.
there's a part of me
I'll
that
be in for slab squatting in some Vanderhob corpses.
an owl perched on Grimly's back.
Yeah.
He's on Yenfir's shoulder right now, actually.
Oh, there's a little pygmy
Switched.
owl on your shoulder.
Do I know it's him? Like, have I ever seen you in owl form?
You've
Nope.
never seen him in any form other than
You about to say you walked off long before he actually shifted.
Okay.
That's true.
Mhm.
So there's just a random fucking owl on my shoulder. Okay.
You've made a friend. It's a
Can I tell if it's like okay, question, because I don't know anything about druids.
Mhm.
Lizard folk.
Just druids.
What are their like animal forms count as? Like, would you be able to detect that they're a druid or like
If you use detect magic, you would know that it's a magical creature. You wouldn't know that it's necessarily a druid, but you would see transmutation magic on him.
okay.
There's no unless he says there's a marking that says, "Hey, this, whatever creature I turn into, it always has this one particular like blue streak of either fur or feathers or whatever it is."
Mm-hmm.
You no way to determine this pygmy owl from any other pygmy owl.
So I just think I turned into a Disney princess, basically.
You-
Okay.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep, you are a prince. Prince. From
Hey,
Disney.
you know, I can be both.
I'm not judging. Be whatever you. Be the best you can be.
Okay, I pat the little owl on the head.
He just leans into it, preens.
It's cute.
It's
Aw.
Jack is upset because Jack knows it's Zion, but Yennefer
Yeah, I'm like,
doesn't, so it's
"Urgh,
I want to be angry, but I can't because I don't know.
can't, I don't know. I don't want to
Not a
meta
game.
this. Okay, so, okay, well, I guess I like an owl now. I have an owl friend, and it's cute, and I'm kind of,
I don't remember casting Find Familiar.
honestly, it's like, oh, it's so cute. Look at it. What is this? What is this about?
Where did this come from? We're in a swamp. Are owls in swamps?
Yeah, isn't it like the daytime too?
Yeah.
I think it's weird, but I'm just going with it, basically.
Sure.
Let's say if Yen doesn't knock him off, then eventually he'll like flutter up into Yen's hair and just kind of like nest a little bit, and just kind of sit there.
You were fucking planning this. I hate
That's why he asked earlier. That's
is why
I
you
asked that
asked.
question.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right. Are you all following Arneth? I take it out of the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to.
He's
approach-
just going. He's not.
You don't even wait for anybody. You just-
He's like already 3 miles forward, and we're all just
Like-
like, ah.
We lost him. We were totally
He's
lost.
shaking his head, muttering under his breath, "These dumb motherfuckers! Where to go?"
I'm going to approach Arneth, kind of, quietly,
Swear to tide murder every one of them.
and ask if he's gonna be okay.
Let's say with Zion
She's
for
been
a
real
As you approach, I would like for what's your passive perception?
Me?
Yeah.
16.
You notice some movement and a new adornment that is on Yenfir's head as a small pygmy owl is resting on top of his hair. Nesting appropriately.
Oh, no, it's cute.
That thing's gonna shit on you.
Don't tempt him.
I mean,
I'm so glad this blue mic mutes my microphone. That was the most unbecoming laugh.
I don't want to think about that right now. I don't want to think about that right now, okay? Are you going to be... I know that was awful.
Eventually. Eventually.
Good one.
He is going to reach for this bird to take it out of his hair. So you don't know
Oh,
what
Jesus.
kind of
You
diseases
don't know
are
where
on
it's
that
been.
bird.
It could
They
have
have-
the bird flu.
Fucking bird flu.
We could have
He'll
fleas.
just kind of like hop around in the interior to get away from it.
Just like
Oh my
slightly like
gosh.
little.
It's not a bag of groceries. You can't just keep fiddling around in there. Hold your head still. You're trying to reach in there, trying to get gum out of a kid's hair. Move it.
Stop moving! It's in all of the hair now.
Now you're all tangled up in the hair. You're like,
Oh,
So
Mistakes
help
have
me,
been
I will
made.
bald you.
you're like caught up in the curls. You're like, peep, peep.
That's cute.
I just like to imagine it's in Zion's voice, so it's just like this low.
Oh, I love it.
This is also why I picked this hour, because we needed some hilarity.
So I am attempting to grab this bird to remove it from Infier's hair.
You allow yourself to be kept towards.
Eventually, yes, once he's
Okay.
happy.
All right. Your hair, the usual mess of red tangle that it is even more so.
It's like Grimley's now. We match.
Grimley's excited.
Yay.
It's like it looks good.
I'm sure I have some magic to deal with this.
Prestidigitation is exactly for that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I make my hair look fucking amazing.
It's the
Once again,
cleanest
but-
thing on your body right now.
Honestly, it's
use-
always the
Hair is
cleanest thing on my body.
Gonna use that. Speak of animals.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, what do you want?
Well, I'm just along for the ride.
Just an innocent owl.
Hoot, hoot, motherfucker. Hoot, hoot, motherfucker.
Oh god.
Y'all look like a colorful bunch.
Fuck.
Uh,
Stop it.
That's awful. Uh,
Why are we laughing?
I really want to just like toss the towel, but I know Arnef wouldn't do that. Just place it back on Infier's shoulder and then keep walking.
Just sort of like hops, ruffles his wings a bit, and just
Sits there.
still.
The journey out of the swamp takes you the better part of a day. You're already well into this. You can camp in the swamp for the evening, or you continue in the dark to try to find your way out. Luckily, you have a ranger with you, so you will not get lost on the way. But if you do not take a rest, you will suffer a point of exhaustion. However, the choice is yours to make. You are roughly halfway through, a little over halfway through the swamp, when full dark sets on.
Would want-
Arnef would want to continue, but he'd kind of look back at everyone else and see how they're doing and make his decision by looking at them.
As a matter of fact, you realize before you set camp.
And I am still carrying that heavy thing.
The what?
The heavy thing that we got from the hag.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the amulet thingy.
the amulet.
Yeah.
You realize as you were stumbling through with the gray of evening that in the loaming, there is ruins ahead of you. You remember these, the stacked stones that sit just atop of a little spot of land that's out of the water. There was a fire pit. It's where you fought the Froghemoth. And so you realize that this would be probably an ideal spot for you to stop. It's out of the water. It's, remotely, or it's located enough and dry, and there's stone around enough to provide you with some protection from the elements if you so desire to stop here.
I mean, why not?
Honestly, Grimley's probably sleepwalking. No, knowing him. Well, not sleepwalking, but like
It's like that
half
thing
asleep.
where kids do where they
Yeah.
walk tired, you're just shuffling your feet. You're
Yeah.
not even picking them up anymore, you're just kind of
Yep.
He'll look at Grimly and decide
It's a
it's
child.
time to
I'm
start.
sorry.
Time to stop her.
He's perfect, literally perfect. Okay.
All right. You set up camp in the ruins that you'd found.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. There's like 4 good standing walls, but they're not like right by each other. You've got one wall here, one here, one wall way over here, and one here. So you can kind of tuck in where the fire pit is, and you'll at least have protection from 2 sides where the wall still stands. As you set up camp, who is taking what watch? Or are you taking watches?
Say as they decide, the owl will flit off of Yenvir's shoulder,
Mhm.
fly about like 20, 30 feet away, and just mid-flight, he becomes a lizard man again and land around.
I am so angry. I'm so fucking angry. I was like okay with it.
Fist
Now
in the
that I
mud.
know it's this asshole, I'm like fucking furious. I can't even talk. I'm so mad.
Your face gets all red.
Matches the hair. All right. You watch as it flits off about 30 feet in the dark. You have dark vision. You watch as it turns into Zine, lands in the mud like a superhero landing, but it's mud, so instead of it's
My nemesis.
Arneth is also very angry.
Still, it's just put out. Like,
how to unfriend people and alienate strangers by Zine.
Pretty much.
Honestly,
Step 1, it's 1 page. Eat a baby.
a baby.
What was that stupid accent that you used? What was that?
Where did you?
I have a lot of them.
All right. Are you welcoming him back into your camp, or are you just going to let him be on his own?
I'm gonna let him be.
I say we vote.
Oh God.
You've been voted off the island. Please walk that way. Extinguishes your torch.
Pack your knives and go.
Fucking Kate, I love
I said
that.
go. He did kind of help though.
He did
like,
what we couldn't.
Did kind of save Callista's life, did he not?
He did, actually.
Yeah, he did.
So, like, this is awkward.
On one hand,
I think we should have a little party powwow.
Zion will he'll just walk around.
He knows it's about him.
No, he
I get it.
he
I
understands
don't know
that soft skins need time to cope.
They need to have their drama, okay? So
Yeah. That's literally like reading up on lizardmen. That's like one of the things that kind of like they don't quite understand, like emotional attachments like this.
because they are lizard brain, literally.
Yeah, they literally are. It is
Alright.
so difficult RPing this character correctly with the lore. It's so hard to do.
All
I
right,
applaud
so
you. You're doing great so far.
Thank you.
I'll take first.
You got first watch.
Grimly won't take watch until it's like absolute end game warning.
All the parties
I'll I'll
in the
take
middle
a
of combat.
watch.
I've got last watch.
I got last one. But but I really do want to talk to the party and like kind of see their as to keeping this lizard man.
Grimly's still new. Does Grimly count?
Yeah, are you a lizard person?
No. I eat them. Not lizard people, just
You see a head come around the wall.
Grimly's just like taking a
I
step
mean,
back.
when you saw him Yenfir for the first time, he did have a salamander like in his mouth
Yeah.
and one in each hand.
I'm okay with it. I was
the final like wall against lizards. Grimly.
yes, the final boss.
Yeah. Secretly, Grimly's an ancient red dragon all along.
Oh no.
Don't give me
Yeah.
ideas.
I'm going to, honestly, I'm going to just approach Gillet and Callista and kind of guide them over to like Grimly and Arneth if they're not close, so we can have a little chit chat before we take watch.
Whoever's closest to Grimly's like leaning against right now.
I understand. You're perfect.
Small tiny boy, sorry.
So, given the events
I
that
don't like
transpired,
Just right out of the bat. I don't like
I don't like him. Don't say it like that, Heath. Oh my god. He saved our party member, but he did eat a hag baby.
Did he
What
eat
did
it
he
or did he
eat?
just crush it?
He ate it.
Oh,
He did not. He did not eat it. He
No,
not
did
eat it.
not eat it. Okay.
He did it in one clean chomp to end it swiftly.
Oh,
Oh,
So he
thanks.
had mercy.
Oh, thanks.
I'm sure it didn't feel anything.
So given the events that transpired, I wanted to know your opinions on this Zine.
On one hand, he did help us.
He even saved Callista's life.
I know, that's what makes this hard.
I also...
And then he lied to me in bird form.
He lied to me in bird form. Me
the
too.
ultimate taboo. It's not
I'll
allowed.
take Arneth's hand. I understand.
I just want this conversation to go, okay, we're going to give you one more chance. But I swear to God, you kill another baby.
Done.
You're done.
You're out.
It's over.
Or lie to us in bird form.
Membership
Or lie to us in bird
declined.
form.
Yeah.
Membership revoked.
Yes.
All right, so you're asking a serious question. I apologize.
Yes.
I'll stop with the
Yeah,
levity.
you fuckers. You're ruining the roleplay. So
The way I see it, he's going to do whatever he wants anyway.
does that mean we have to stand by him, or that's my question.
To an extent, I think it would be in our best interests to do so. Safety-wise, I suppose. But,
But if he eats another baby, he's
He's out of here.
well...
I really hope he doesn't eat another baby. Technically, I'm the other baby. No, I'm kidding.
he was being real nice to you, Grimly.
I know, but I think I'd feel awful if another situation arose where Callista or any of you were in trouble and I wasn't able to help.
Just don't upset another sea hag.
Grimly's out of the group.
Grimly looks away. He's just like, oh, what?
Who said
Oh
that? It
my.
wasn't me.
That it wasn't me. I'm just a tiny baby boy gremlin who's nice at all times.
It's V. V's out of the group.
Okay, the whole thing goes black.
Let's not do that.
Actually, maybe Grimly's muttering in Goblin, and I don't know if anybody actually knows
I don't know.
Goblin.
I don't know Goblin, so you're
Nope.
safe.
Good. There we go.
Arneth, do you know Goblin?
No.
Okay, there we go. I'm good. Reverts back to Goblin whenever he just doesn't know what to do.
I just
Okay.
had the imagination or the opinion that in Goblin, he is the most articulate individual, like a Harvard grad Goblin.
Ah, I love it.
But in
Please,
Goblin
God.
speech, it's just
Goblin
his
in
common
Goblin speech.
stuff.
He speaks with a British accent.
Common, not so much, but like
And Goblin, he's like, I say, these folk are
I
quite
say
entertaining.
these folk are intriguing. I think I'll
Oxford
stay a while.
trained.
Oxford trained.
Oxford educated goblin. I
Terrible.
say, old bean, are we going to invite the lizard folk or not?
Oh my gosh, you guys.
He dots all his P's and Q's. Wait,
Wait, what?
Did you go to school, Gillet?
In common, it's me, goblin, no word.
No word. Me no speak a common. Sorry.
No, sorry.
No habla common.
No
Me scusi.
All right,
Me
all right.
scusi.
Excuse me. We're so stupid. I love us. Okay.
Given how this
Serious
started,
questions,
yes.
guys.
I say we give him one more chance because he did help us out. I'm still upset with him, but
He did say he needed us, didn't he?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know what that means, but
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of lizard folk? The shadow
Honestly.
knows. No. All right. So, a swift conversation has been had.
Mm,
Yes.
Do you invite your new party member over? I won't say the word friend, but your new party member over.
He's not my friend.
he's part of the group but doesn't get the
Yes.
friendship bracelet.
He has a ways to go to get there.
well, Arnef would not invite him.
Okay. Who's taking first watch? Arneth?
See.
Okay. Second watch. How many watches are you guys gonna have? 3 or 4?
I'll do second.
Okay.
And I think we're okay with 3 watches, don't you?
Yeah, I'm good with 3.
All right. You
If
guys.
you invite Zine back, so can't.
You broke up a little bit there. What'd you say?
They invite Zine back, he can do something about campuses.
Oh.
True.
But he has to know he's invited back first.
Is he
He's
just
not
like
gonna walk up. He's just
hanging
sitting
out?
off on his own, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
he went to the other side of one of the walls to give you all your privacy because he knew you all needed it, though he's kind of like...
we just stare him dead in the face?
There's like a little window in the wall where we're just like,
all staring at him. All right. Well,
The open door frame. You're all just looking around the door.
I guess as me, the diplomat, I'll go.
Gotta
be happy
fight
about
hard
it.
on you.
Zine.
Yes.
I hate this. We as a group have decided to allow you to stay with us, and despite all that's happened, if you wish to stay.
I do have need of your group, given your goals. Though I do... He'll just kind of tilt his head and... Though I do not understand these emotions you all have, I do see how it could have been upsetting. However, knew what their kind have done to mine, you would understand the animosity that drove my actions today.
Well, maybe we'll reach an understanding later on.
Perhaps so.
All right.
And if invited to join the rest of the party, I assume they kind of set up where those 2 walls kind of intersect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll take out his staff, walk out a slight ways from there, jam it into the ground, and use 6 charges of his staff to cast Wall of Thorns to block off the rest of the areas that those 2 walls don't cover.
Awesome. So you now have a bivouac. You now have a kind of a makeshift area there for you to rest in. And with that, the party naps for the night. And we are going to take a short break. V, if you want to go ahead and pause this. Everybody, I know we're going to go offline for a little bit, but we will be back. Give us about 10 minutes or so, maybe about half of the hour. We give everybody a chance to refresh their drinks, go to the restroom, do whatever. If you're joining us on YouTube, hey, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us a follow over on Twitch. We really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 100 followers on, or 100 subscribers on YouTube. If you do have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account. We'd appreciate it if you throw your sub our way. You get one free sub each month. You must renew it, but we would really appreciate it. Help us grow, help us get better stuff, equipment, and broadcasting. And again, just a huge thanks to everybody who does donate. We really appreciate it. Go by and check out the Twitch channel, even though it's not streaming right now. And we have a Discord channel. We'd love to have you guys on there. We chit chat, joke around, talk, and do all sorts of fun things. So come by and say hi to us and find out when the next game is going to be. Possibly you could get involved in one too. But we'll be back at the half-hour mark, and we will see you all then. Until then, stick tight. Come back. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Thanks a lot, guys.